All right, this video is going to cover how you shouldn't undervalue your social media pricing, and we're also going to go over how to price web design services. Now, DashClicks does not offer web design services, but this is valuable because a lot of people do want web design, but we do have a really cool prospecting tool that you can use. So it's sort of like web design. But anyways, let's jump into that. Secondly, but firstly, let's talk about how you shouldn't undervalue your social media pricing. So what you really need to understand is that it is difficult to ask people for money, okay? When you consult with them and you're on the phone, you're doing a sales call, you're learning their pain points, you're learning about their business, you're trying to fit in a diagnosis and prescribe a solution to them and then explain that solution to them well enough so they don't feel confused or they get questions like, well, I don't know how I feel about that. You got to make sure you're really clear. And the part where you have to ask someone for money is difficult to learn, I will admit. But it's crucial. If you're getting into business, you got to get some thick skin and learn to ask people for money. But don't undervalue your services. So before, what I mentioned was when you are getting into your pricing, you look at your expenses, you find your markup, which is your profit margin, and then you have your price. But to come up with reasonable pricing, look at your niche market, what's kind of the market value pricing going on, what's too expensive, and then what is too low where I don't want to undervalue myself. Okay, so don't be afraid to charge what you feel like you need, not only need to get to nourish the business to keep it growing, but don't be afraid to just ask for the pricing that you want to get paid. You'll find that if you ask for less than what you really want to get paid for to offer a quality service, it's going to be very difficult for you or your staff to have, mostly you to have motivation to keep investing into getting your service more and more efficient and just better and more well-rounded. So don't undersell yourself at all. Let's jump into how to price web design and how that ties into DashClicks because we have a really cool system I want to share with you. This video will be a little bit quicker, by the way. So how to price web design services. This is similar again to what we talked about. Keep in mind, this formula is something that is fundamental. You apply this to literally everything and anything. So it's your cost plus your markup, profit margin equals your price. Except with web design, you gotta focus on these areas. Web design is expensive, it's time consuming, it's costly. It's a lot of back and forth with client. It's a lot. But areas to think about is UI design, user interface. What is that going to look like? Okay, UX, user experience design. How is the person going to feel when they're browsing this website? But then you got to get all the graphics together. Not only do you have to get all the graphics together, you have to get all the copy together. And by the way, all these areas possibly could be different people. A web designer might be a UX designer, more so, less of a graphic designer, less of a copywriter, less of a UI designer. So you might have to hire 4 people for this. Now, like I mentioned before, this is identifying the resources you need and the expense it's going to incur. But you don't necessarily have to kill yourself over this because DashClicks has a really cool thing. Let's jump into the dashboard and I'll show you the alternative, which is way better. Okay, so we're actually in the store. We're going to get out of the store. I'll click on my logo up here to go to the home page. Okay. So, I'm about to blow your mind. When you're doing web design, you got to find someone to design the website. You got to find someone who knows how to use a specific web builder like WordPress or Shopify or WooCommerce, whatever. And it's expensive. So what that basically means for you is you're going to pay a lot for the person to fulfill the work, and you're going to have to charge on top to get your value out of it. So if it's $2,500 for a $2,500 website, you're going to have to charge $5,000 for a website. So the value of the website you are providing might be less than what it costs. And whenever you offer services or a product, you want the value to exceed the cost. So that's kind of the challenge you have when you're outsourcing website work and that sort of thing. Now, it's not impossible. It's really not all that difficult. It's just time consuming. It's kind of a pain. You might have to go through a few web designers to make sure you find the right one. So it's just, why risk it giving a client a subpar website? It's not worth it. So that's why I'm going to show you this. Again, this is the philosophy I have with DashClicks. You have to come up with all this stuff yourself, or just have DashClicks do it. No brainer, super simple. There's an app in here called InstaSites. Let me show you what InstaSites is. So go to your app drawer. InstaSites is this one right here. This is your InstaSites app. Now, DashClicks runs off apps. In here, we have 223 different industries right here of templated pre-built websites. What does that mean? You can insert basic company info of a prospect or a client, whatever, and the InstaSites will inject that information into a fully functional website. Let me show you. Let's say we have a karate studio, Aikido. We build the website, and you just click Build InstaSite. You insert all the information. Then it instantly builds the website in a matter of under 10 seconds, and it's fully functional. It'll have the company's branding on it. It'll have like the phone number, the email, the business address. All that will be injected into a fully functional template website. Before I show you what this looks like, what this does is it eliminates all the stuff you have to really consider and puts it into one central point of a price, one singular price that you have to consider. Just like when we went into the fulfillment store for like paid ads or Google ads or Facebook ads, the costs are there. All you have to do is put your markup and you have your price, get a client. There you go. Super simple. Same thing with InstaSites. I think it's $120 to launch an InstaSite, and then like $25 a month for you to host it for them. Okay, that's a whole other story. Anyways, let's inject the information. I'm just going to click preview, so we'll pretend I did that already. This is what your client will see. It's fully functional. Desktop view, you can click around. Tablet view, fully functional. You can click around. And that's right, you guessed it, mobile view. You can click around too. You can send this link to clients to check out. Okay. No web designers, no UI designers, no UX designers, no extra cost. To activate the site costs $122 or something like that. And then you can charge your profit margin on top. If websites go for $2,500 to $100,000, which I showed you in that chart in the previous video, and your cost is $122 for a fully functional site like this, that is massive win. That is massive earnings right there, and massive growth for your company. So you're able to use InstaSites to instantly build a website and brand it towards the person's towards your prospect you're trying to sell the site to. Brief example is you have XYZ Aikido. We need a brand new website. Oh, okay. That'll cost you about $5,000. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Okay, give me about 2 weeks. 2 weeks goes by. You build an InstaSite, which costs you nothing. It's free until you activate it. Then you go, hey guys, XYZ Aikido, I got your website. Check it out. You send them this link. They get a fully functional website like this. They go, oh, that's amazing. Love it. Okay, perfect. That's just going to be, whatever you charge on the upsell, which is your price, because expense and markup is your price. And you've only paid $120 for this. It's so much easier, right? You can find your costs. You know exactly what you're spending your money on. And we have 222 different templates across many different industries. So pretty much any industry you want to hit, we have. Now, again, I can keep reiterating this day in and day out, or just all day, but this is a really amazing tool where you can know exactly what you're going to pay for a website. You know exactly what you want to charge on top of that, and you know exactly what your price is going to be. There's no obscurity. There's no questioning. Every time you need to provide a service to a client, it will show you the exact cost, and then you get to intentionally pick how much you need to charge for it to be a profitable service and a good service for the client. Okay, so jump into your DashClicks account, check out the InstaSites thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.